We have 3 public hearings before our regular meetings, so I would like to call the first public meeting to order. Would the secretary please call the roll?
Trustees Del Rosario.
Here.
Hunley.
Here.
Kluzny. Here. Nasty.
Here.
O'Brien. Here. Reyes. And Mayor Veenstra.
Here. And if the attorney would please reference the public notice.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Pursuant to the provision of the Open Meetings Act, notice is hereby given that a public hearing to approve a proposed property tax levy increase for the Village of Addison, Illinois for 2023 will be held on November 20th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. at the Village Hall, 1 Friendship Plaza, Addison, Illinois. Any person desiring to appear at the public hearing and present testimony to the taxing district may contact Colleen Witt, Finance Director Treasurer, Village of Addison, 1 Friendship Plaza, Addison, Illinois, 630-693-7565. Notice for this public hearing was published in the Daily Herald on November 9th, 2023.
Okay, thank you. And Colleen, if you would present, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Each year, the village is required to file the annual tax levy before the last Tuesday in December. The proposed 2023 tax levy is $16,719,016, which is a 2.92% increase over last year's total levy extension. The village portion of this proposed levy is broken down into 3 parts. The first part is the village corporate levy, which is $5,876,759. The second is the police pension levy at $4,388,847. The pension fund hires an independent actuary to determine the recommended amount of this levy. The third is the debt service, which is for the 2 bonds that are included on the tax rolls at $500,965. Those 3 levy amounts comprise the village portion of the levy, and it totals $10,766,571. The remaining portion is the library's levy, which totals $5,952,445. And tonight we have representatives from the library that will address the library's portion of the levy.
Okay, as Colleen said, our portion of the levy is $5,952,445. That is an increase over last year's extension of 2.75%. In actual dollars, that's an increase of $139,311.
Okay, thank you.
So although the library is a separate taxing body with an independent elected board that determines the library's tax levy, the village is required by state statute to include their tax levy with the village's tax levy. It does appear as a separate line item on your property tax bill, though. So based on this total levy dollar amount and a projected 4.5% increase in our EAV, the proposed tax levy produces a projected $38.03 increase on taxes on a home of about a value of $350,000. So again, the total levy request is $16,719,016, or a 2.92% increase over last year's total levy extension, which included debt service and aggregate refunds. We ask for your...
Okay, thank you. Questions from the board? Questions from the audience? Positive testimony? Negative testimony? I don't think there's a summary necessary, so is there a motion to close this meeting?
So moved.
Second.
So all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
This public hearing is closed, and that brings us to the next public hearing. And again, we have to take a roll call, please.
Trustees Del Rosario.
Here.
Hunley.
Here.
Kluzny. Here. Nasty.
Here.
O'Brien.
Here.
Reyes. And Mayor Veenstra.
Here. And if the attorney would read that public notice.
Thank you, Mayor. Notice is hereby given that on Monday, November 20th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m., a public hearing will be held in the Village of Addison, Village Hall at 1 Friendship Plaza, Addison, Illinois, for the following variations of the Village of Addison sign ordinance. a variation of Section 27-413E3 to allow one backlit freestanding sign 4 by 10 by 10 by 2, 49 square feet and 7 feet 6 inches tall, when one is allowed with a maximum height of 6 foot tall. A variation of Section 27-504G1B to allow 2 illuminated main wall signs 4 feet 3 inches by 14 feet, 60 square feet, a total of 120 square feet, when one main sign is allowed of 100 square feet. A variation of Section 27-504G2 to allow 3 illuminated patio logo signs when none are allowed. A variation of Section 27-410E to allow 1 illuminated canopy sign 6 foot by 8 inches by 10 feet, by 10 inches, 5.5 square feet, when none are allowed. This site is located in a B2 Community Business District. The name of the business is Ancona Jewelers. This property is commonly referred to as 1700 West Lake Street, Addison, Illinois. The PIN for this site is 03-18-302-028. Testimony regarding this matter may be presented at the public hearing. This matter was published in the Daily Herald on November 10th, 2023.
Thank you. Mike, are you going to do the presentation?
Sure. Yeah, I can do the opening. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As the attorney indicated, the petitioner tonight, Ancona Jewelers, requesting several variations to the sign code for their new location at 1700 West Lake Street. In addition to the sign variation, they're also seeking appearance review approval as well later in the meeting. The reason why I mention that is because the signs that they're asking for really complement the new facade design that they've come up with, which you'll see in your packet. The first variation is to allow a freestanding sign to have a height of 7'6" when a maximum height of 6 feet is allowed, to allow 2 wall signs having an area of 60 square feet, totaling 120 square feet. Only 1 wall sign is allowed for this business, and then to allow 1 5.5 square foot illuminated canopy sign when canopy signs are not allowed unless that they're in place of wall signs. And then lastly, the petitioner is proposing 3 illuminated logo signs to be located in the patio area. Each one of these has an area of 5.2 square feet. We kind of threw these into the variation request. The sign code's kind of written where the intent or the scope of this code is to, if you can see the signs from the public right-of-way, that's where the sign code kicks in. You really can't see these from the public right-of-way, but we wanted to make sure that there was no question, so we threw them in here anyway. We looked at this, and as I mentioned earlier, based on the facade design that's being proposed, the building is sitting on the lot. It's a long, narrow lot and a long, narrow building. If you're familiar with it, it was the former Mario's Deli building. So you really can't see it, and access to the site is a little rough, too. It's off of Central, not off of Lake Street. So you have to turn on Central to be able to get to it. So we did bring this request to the Commercial Industrial Commission on November 8th. There was some discussion, but it was unanimously approved by the commission. A recommendation was given. We do have the business owner, Antonio Ancona, is here to answer any questions you might have.
I'm going to swear.
Good evening. My name is Antonio Ancona.
Okay, sir, would you please raise your right hand? Okay. And repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Antonio Ancona,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that the testimony that I am about to give
that the testimony I'm about to give
is true and exact
is true and exact
to the best of my knowledge.
to the best of my knowledge.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Antonio Ancona. I'm the owner of Ancona Jewelers, or my family is. We recently just bought the Mario's Deli building. We want to add a few signs that are above and beyond the sign ordinance of Addison. So this is why I'm here tonight, is to answer any questions you may have regarding the signs and the building.
Okay. I think it's been discussed at several levels at this point. Does the board have any questions? I think everyone's looking forward to seeing the new building go up. So
are we.
All right, questions from the audience? Positive testimony? Negative testimony? Summation? Okay, is there a motion by the board to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Second.
First and second, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
This public hearing is closed.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And that brings us to the third public hearing. And again, would the clerk do the roll?
Trustees Del Rosario.
Here.
Hunley.
Here.
Cluzny.
Here.
Nasty.
Here.
O'Brien.
Here.
Reyes. And Mayor Veenstra.
Here. And if the attorney would read this public notice.
Thank you, Mayor. Notice is hereby given that on Monday, November 20th, 2023, at 6:30 p.m., a public hearing will be held in the Village of Addison, Village Hall, at 1 Friendship Plaza, Addison, Illinois, for the following variations of the Village of Addison sign ordinance. A variation of Section 27-421 to allow a directional informational sign 17 feet by 8 inches by 6 foot 2 inches, 110 square feet, and 22 feet 3 inches in height when 5 square feet is allowed in size with a maximum height of 4 feet, no inches, 4 feet. This site is located in the B2 Community Business District. The name of the business is Quick Trip. This property is commonly referred to as 415 North Swift Road, Addison, Illinois. The PIN for this site is 02-24-400-041. Testimony regarding this matter may be presented at the public hearing, and this matter was published in the Daily Herald on November 10th, 2023.
Thank you. Are the petitioners here this evening? Quick, if you come forward, please. And the attorney will swear you in.
I state your name.
I, Ali Bukrest,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that the testimony that I am about to give
that the testimony I'm about to give
is true and exact
is true and exact
to the best of my knowledge.
to the best of my knowledge.
Thank you, sir.
So tell us about your request.
Yeah, so we're just requesting a sign variation for a truck scale sign. This sign will direct trucks in and out of the truck scale area, and it's just for a safety measure, just for improve our site design and the way the trucks maneuver into our site for the access of the truck scale.
Okay, great. And Mike, staff input?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, this actually was an oversight on Quick Trip's part when they came in for the redevelopment of the property for appearance review and their sign variation. They forgot to put the truck scale on there, otherwise it would have been with the original submittal back in November of last year. So when we performed the review and ultimately issued the permit, the truck scale was there. We also noticed that there was a truck scale sign there. We told them that they needed a variation. They indicated that, well, we submitted that, but it wasn't with the package. So we're just kind of circling back. We feel that this makes sense. Staff is recommending this. It does give direction to the trucks when they enter the site where to go to, to find the scale. It's actually located at the north canopy, north side of the property where the truck dispensers are at, just adjacent to that.
Okay. Questions from the board? I understand you've already officially opened for business.
Yes, we are.
Great.
Very excited to be here.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Questions from the audience? Positive testimony? Negative testimony? Summation? Not
Appreciate
necessary.
you for having us tonight.
Okay. Motion to close this public hearing.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
This public hearing is closed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to the combined meeting of the committees for Monday, November 20th. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Trustees Del Rosario.
Here.
Nasty.
Here.
Reyes. Co-chairs Hunley.
Here.
Cluzny.
Here.
O'Brien. Here.
Item number 2 is consideration to approve the minutes of the November 6th, 2023 combined meeting of the committees.
So move. Second.
Any additions, corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Minutes are approved. Item number 3 is audience input regarding agenda items before the committee. We have none. Item number 4 is discussion of accounts payable. Earlier this evening, we reviewed the following directives. Directive number 24-40 in the amount of $1,181,351.06. Directive number 24-41 in the amount of $607,403.78. Directive number 24-42 in the amount of $1,053,228.26. The gross payroll for November was $2,787,624.85. We also have one adjustment, Directive number 24-32, which was adjusted on November 6, 2023, in the amount of $286,220.21, is being reduced by $1,953.30, making the new total $284,266.91.
Make the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5 is consideration of an ordinance levying taxes for corporate purposes for the current fiscal year commencing on the first day of May 2023 and ending on the 30th day of April 2024.
Make the motion.
Second.
Thank you. Colleen?
Thank you, Madam Chair. What you have before you is the 2023 tax levy ordinance requesting a total amount of $16,719,016. This is the combined total of both the village and the library's tax levy requests. The village is broken down into 3 parts. The village corporate levy is $5,876,759. The police pension portion is $4,388,847. The pension fund does hire an independent actuary to determine the recommended amount of the levy. At our last fiscal year at 4/30/2023, the police pension fund was funded on an actuary basis of just under 60% compared to last year, which was just over 60%. The debt service portion of the levy is on the 2 bonds is $500,965. The remaining 4 bonds are abated. So the total debt service is actually $2,975,347.50, of which $2,474,382.50, which is 83%, will be abated on the next agenda item, leaving only the $500,965 to be levied in property taxes. The library levy is $5,952,445. I'm sorry, let me repeat that. The library levy is $5,952,445 for a total levy of $16,719,016. We ask for your approval at this time.
We talked about this quite a bit. I don't have any more questions. Any questions from the committee? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6 is consideration of ordinances abating taxes heretofore levied to pay interest and principal on the following general obligation bonds of the Village of Addison, DuPage County, Illinois, for the year 2023. $8,995,000 general obligation refunding bond, Series 2015. $9,525,000 general obligation bond, Series 2016A. $2,130,000 general obligation refunding bond, Series 2016B. $5,400,000 general obligation bond, Series 2017.
Make the motion.
Second.
Thank you. Colleen?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So whenever the village issues general obligation bonds, DuPage County automatically levies property taxes to cover both the principal and interest payments unless the levy is abated by the village. When these bonds were approved and sold. The village's intent was to use available sales tax increment revenues to pay this debt. We do project that we will have sufficient sales tax increment revenues in order to pay the principal and interest on these bonds, and therefore we recommend that the 2023 tax levies for the 2015, 2016A, 2016B, and 2017 general obligation bonds issues be abated. So for the 2023 tax levy, we are requesting abatement for the 4 bond issues as follows. For the 2015 bond issue, we're looking to abate $1,205,600. For the 2016A bond issue, $612,482.50. For the 2016B bond issue, $251,300. For the 2017 bond issue, $405,000, for a total of $2,474,382.50. So as a side note, this abatement generates an estimated property tax savings of just under $183 for a $350,000 home. So we're asking for your approval at this time.
Very good. I have no questions on this item. Any questions from the committee? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7 is consideration of an ordinance adopting the Village of Addison's current paid leave policies and opting out of the Paid Leave for All Workers Act.
Make the motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Joe?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Tonight before you is a law that's going to go in effect January 1st of 2024. It's actually 820 ILCS 192-1. It is the Paid Leave for All Workers Act. In summary, it means that all employees throughout the state of Illinois would be getting some form of paid leave. Personal time, I'm happy to report for you, the Village of Addison employees, they accrue personal time when they're hired, sick time, and vacation. We are looking to opt out of this. We have that authority within the law, and that needs to be passed here before January 1st of 2024. Asking your favorable approval, because the good news is we do it already.
No questions on this item. Any questions from the committee? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8 is consideration of a resolution approving an agreement between the Village of Addison and the Metropolitan Alliance of Police, Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center, chapter number 774.
Make the motion to approve.
Second.
Joe?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Really, really good news here tonight to report to the board. We entered into our second agreement with Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center, our union, and with the good help from Director Don Pinson of our Human Resources and the Interim Chief of Police, Roy Selvig, really did a fantastic job. We got this done in about 3 meetings. Happy to report to you that it would be a 4-year contract if you approve it, starting November 1st of 2023, so it will be a little retroactive. A few weeks here, and it would extend to October 31st of 2027. That also falls in direct line with our police union as well, and just great relationships all the way around. So asking your favorable approval tonight.
Great news. I have no questions. Any questions from the committee? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 9 is consideration of payment number 12 to Hitchcock Design, Inc. of Naperville, Illinois for the final design and engineering of Phase 5 of the Village Green Improvement Project, Veteran Circle, in the amount of $5,673.76, funding in account number 470.9947-4536.
Make the motion to approve.
Second.
Joe?
Thank you, Madam Chair. As requested, this would be payment number 12 to Hitchcock Design. As you indicated, the amount of $5,673.76, there would be a remaining balance on this of approximately just under $7,500. My last great news to report to you tonight, I think we all saw that with our fantastic Veterans Memorial debut that we had on November 11th, where we dedicated the memorial, and a lot of residents were out there to see just where this money went to and how awesome it is and how that project turned out. So asking your favorable approval tonight.
Looks great, Joe.
Thank you.
I have no questions. Any questions from the committee? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 10 is consideration to award contract bid number 23-10-2 for the installation of approximately 1,120 lineal feet of cured-in-place pipe to Visu Sewer of Illinois, LLC of Bridgeview, Illinois, in the not-to-exceed amount of $48,150.50. Funding in account number 500.5031-4180.
Make the motion.
Second.
Thank you. Rick.
Good evening. Thank you, Madam Chair. This item for your consideration, we recently went out to bid for our annual work for relining sanitary sewers. It's part of our preventative maintenance program that is budgeted each year in our sewer division. We had 5 bidders, and the low parent bidder was from Visu Sewer of Bridgeview. As mentioned, they will do approximately 1,120 lineal feet of sewer. What's nice is that this is non-invasive construction where they go from manhole to manhole, and they're able to line it with brand new pipe that should extend the pipe's life up to 50 years. We are going to be working in the areas of Brashears Avenue, which is in Westwood, and then a couple sections of Harvard Avenue this year. So that will be coming up here in a few weeks. So we're asking for your approval then to award the bid to Visu Sewer in the amount of $48,150.50.
Very good. If I recall correctly, we have used them before for this.
Yes, they did not receive the last contract, but we have used them in the past, and it's all quality work.
Great. Any questions from the committee? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 11 is consideration to approve change order number 3 from Aqua Contractors Corporation of Elmhurst, Illinois for the Oak Chestnut North State Infrastructure Project in the amount of $27,905. Bid number 23-5-1, funding in account number 500.5031-4412.01.
Make the motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The ongoing project, as everyone knows, from Oak, State, and Chestnut is moving along well. We have another item coming up for a payout. They are going to be wrapping up this week, is the hope. So I appreciate everyone's patience out there. The residents have been fantastic. It has been quite a couple of months that they've had to put up with some dust and construction, which is never fun. But the residents have been great out there that we've met with and talked throughout that portion. Now, that's only phase 1. There'll be 2 more phases coming in the spring. But this particular change order, then change order 3, was for 2 items in particular, one being they had to change out a storm sewer structure when it had to be rerouted due to a conflict with fiber optics that ran in the alley in the area. So that's a change to upsize one of those storm manhole chambers. And then the second item is we added water main along Oak Avenue, and there were 2 sections of pipe that were in conflict or too close to sanitary sewer. So IEPA, of course, rightfully requires a certain amount of separation from those, or you need to put in a casing pipe in lieu of that. So that a second item then is there for 2 sections of casing pipe. So the total change order comes to $27,905, and we're requesting your approval at this time.
Thank you. I have no questions on this item. Any questions from the committee? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 12 is consideration of payment number 2 to Aqua Contractors Corporation of Elmhurst, Illinois for the Oak Chestnut North State Infrastructure Project in the amount of $1,450,148.49. Bid number 23-5-1, funding in account number 500.5031-4412.01.
Make the motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Rick.
Thank you again, Madam Chair. This item then is payout number 2 for the aforementioned construction project going on at Oak Chestnut North State neighborhood. This is for work through November 3rd of 2023. We've received certified payroll and all waivers of lien. We're requesting payment then at this time for the amount of $1,450,148.49.
Very good. I have no questions on this item. Any questions from the committee? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you,
Thank you.
Rick. Item number 13 has been removed from the agenda. Item number 14 is consideration of payout request number 1 to Keeley Construction, Inc. for the interior renovation of the Community Development Department office in the amount of $420,939.10. Funding in account number 440.9944-4405.
Make the motion to approve.
Second.
Mike?
Thank you, Madam Chair. The payout before you tonight is to Keeley Construction for work performed and materials purchased associated with the Community Development Renovation Project. Payout covers Keeley's direct costs and purchases, office furniture, cubicles, carpet, and direct payment to their employees. Staff has received certified payroll and waivers of lien from Keeley. We found those to be acceptable for the work that's been done so far. Barring any questions from the committee, staff's recommending your favorable approval in the amount of $420,939.10.
I have no questions. Any questions from the committee? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 15 is consideration of payout request number 2 to Bravo Company Engineering, Inc. for design engineering services for the College Boulevard Rehabilitation Project east of Swift Road in the amount of $16,895. Funding in account number 100.2520-4180.
Make the motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As you know, the village was awarded a $600,000 community project funding grant from Congressman Krishnamurthy's office for the College Boulevard Road Improvement Project. The payout request before you tonight is for design engineering services to Bravo Company Engineering for engineering work on this project. Staff's reviewed the invoice. We found it to be acceptable for the work that's been performed so far to date. And at this time, we're requesting your favorable consideration in approving payout request number 2 to Bravo Company Engineering in the amount of $16,895.
I have no questions on this item. Any questions from the committee? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
We'll move on to Building, Zoning, and Development Committee items. Item number 16 is consideration of variance to sign ordinance for Quick Trip located at 415 North Swift Road.
Make the motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second on discussion. Mike? I know we have public hearing, but just a quick overview so it's in the record.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Quick Trip is looking to have a sign variation for identification of their truck scale, which is located on the north side of the property. This was something that was omitted with the original development plans. The request was brought to our Commercial Industrial Commission on November 8th, and there was a favorable recommendation for their approval. Staff also recommends the approval tonight.
Very well. Any questions on this list? Okay, then. And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Item number 17 is consideration of variance to sign ordinance and an appearance review for Ancona Jewelers located at 1700 West Lake Street.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second on discussion. Mike?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think we went through the requirements, or the request, I should say, for the sign variation during the public hearing, but I do want to bring your attention to the appearance of the building. As mentioned before, Ancona Jewelers purchased the Mario's Deli building. They're doing significant remodeling on the interior and the exterior of the property, spending a lot of money, which is going to be a huge improvement. The sign variation request, we feel, is in line with the changes that they're making to the facade of the building. If you look at your packet, you can see the major changes. If you look at the before and the after photos that are being made to this building, one of the design elements will be eliminated the access to the building, multiple access. Before, if you remember, it was a multi-unit building. This will have one main entrance off of Central. The existing roof gables have been removed and replaced with parapets at different heights, varied heights, to create a sense of scale and interest to the site. The building's clad with warm earth tone colors, ephes, and other types of panels, steel canopies over the covered entrance, which really is a welcoming look, I think. Just really nice curb appeal from Lake Street as well as from Central Avenue. I think it's a huge improvement to the area. In addition to that, they will be enhancing the landscaping along the building as well as just in front of the building along Lake Street and Central Court, which kind of softens the look out there, bringing a really nice look to that area. So staff's recommending approval of the sign variations as well as a recommendation to approve the appearance review. Antonio is here. If you have any other questions regarding that design of the building, he can answer those questions for you.
Mr. Ancona, is there anything else you'd like to add? But from Mike said, I mean, you don't have to if you thought he covered everything for you. Okay. So okay, perfect, yeah. Since you were still here, I figured I'd ask. And any other questions from the committee then? Then hearing none, then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carried. Mr. Ancona, good luck with the new building, and thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
And moving on to Public Health, Safety, and Judicial Committee items. Item number 18, consideration of a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding between the Emergency Telephone System Board of DuPage County and the Village of Addison regarding a computer-aided dispatch interface request.
Make the motion.
Second.
Roy?
Thank you, Madam Chair. This item for your consideration is a memorandum of understanding between Village of Addison and the Emergency Telephone System Board of DuPage. DuPage ETSB has requested the development of an interface connecting Hexagon CAD, which is our computer-aided dispatch system, and LEADS 3.0, which is our law enforcement data system. Since LEADS is not an allowable cost for 911 surcharge money, we had previously budgeted the full amount of the development for this interface. However, we're not going to need the full amount because we've entered into an agreement, or we'd like to enter into an agreement to combine it along with DUCOM. ACDC and DUCOM will split the cost, so the cost to the Village of Addison will be significantly less at $14,681.50. So we ask for your favorable consideration to move forward with the memorandum of understanding.
Makes sense to me. I don't have any other questions. Does anybody have any questions? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Roy. Item number 19, audience participation. Doesn't look like we have any. Item 20, executive session isn't necessary. Item number 21, other business at the discretion of the chairman. Nothing. And item number 22.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Meeting, all those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call the regular village board meeting for Monday, November 20th to order. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Trustees Del Rosario?
Here.
Hundley?
Here.
Klusny?
Here.
Nasty?
Here.
O'Brien?
Here.
Trustee Reyes is not here this evening. And Mayor Veenstra?
Here. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you'd remain standing for the invocation, this evening will be presented by Pastor Bob Tetrick of Messiah Baptist.
Well, good evening. I would like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. We've had some really nice weather. We can enjoy doing some stuff. Before I pray, there is a verse, like I like to usually do, is read, and it's in Colossians chapter 3, and it says, "Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, to which indeed you were called into one body, and be thankful." We see this all through Scripture, especially in the Psalms, and tells us to be thankful, and I think it's a good week to remember to do that. So shall we pray? Dear Heavenly Father, as we come before you this evening, we certainly have so much to be thankful for living here in America. We know it's not perfect because people are not perfect. But Father, we thank you for the health that we have, living in a free country, being able to go to the grocery store and buy whatever food we want. Those that are in need, there's many places that are willing to help, and I thank you for that. I thank you for living in a village that protects its citizens and is very concerned about everything that goes on. By the dedication of everyone here, we can see that. I pray that you would bless each one of their families, and that, Father, during this time of Thanksgiving, that they would remember these very special times. Thank you for allowing this to happen tonight. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
No, both. As soon as you cut them, I go, wait a minute.
Okay, item 4 is the approval of the minutes of the November 6th village board meeting and also the approval of the minutes of the November 6th special village board meeting. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the minutes. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The minutes stand approved. Item 5, proclamations, appointments, and presentations. We have none this evening. Item 6 is audience input. We have none this evening. Item 7 is the consent agenda. 7A is approval of accounts payable.
Earlier this evening, the committee recommended approval of the following directives. Directive number 24-40 in the amount of $1,181,351.06. Directive 24-41 in the amount of $607,403.78. Directive 24-42 in the amount of $1,053,228.26. Gross payroll for November was $2,787,624.85. There was one correction to directive number 24-32, which was adjusted on November 6, 2023, in the amount of $286,220.21. It's now being reduced by $1,953.30, making the new total $284,266.91.
Thank you. 7B is approval of payment number 12 to Hitchcock Design Incorporated of Naperville, Illinois for the final design and engineering of Phase 5 of the Village Green Improvement Project, Veterans Circle, in the amount of $5,673.76. 7C is approval to award contract bid 23-10-2 for the installation of approximately 1,120 lineal feet of cured-in-place pipe, CIPP, to Visu Sewer of Illinois LLC of Bridgeview in the not-to-exceed amount of $48,150.50. Item 7D is the approval of change order number 3 from Aqua Contractors Corporation of Elmhurst, Illinois for the Oak Chestnut North State Infrastructure Project in the amount of $27,905. 7E is the approval of payment number 2 to Aqua Contractors Corporation of Elmhurst, Illinois for the Oak Chestnut North State Infrastructure Project in the amount of $1,450,148.49. Item 7F is approval of payout request number 1 to Keeley Construction Incorporated for the interior renovation of the Community Development Department office in the amount of $420,939.10. 7G is the approval of payout request number 2 to Bravo Company Engineering Incorporated for design engineering services for the College Boulevard Rehabilitation Project east of Swift Road in the amount of $16,895. Item 7H is the approval of a variation to the sign ordinance for Quick Trip located at 415 North Swift Road. And item 7I is approval of a variation to the sign ordinance in an appearance review for the Ancona Jewelers located at 1700 West Lake Street. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I make the motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second?
Motion and a second to approve. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Huntley,
Yes.
Kaluzny,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
and O'Brien.
Yes.
The consent agenda is approved. Item 8, ordinances and resolutions. 8A is the second reading of an ordinance amending certain provisions of the Village of Addison zoning ordinance with respect to M4 Office Research Industrial District.
At their meeting on November 6th, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which amends certain provisions of the Village of Addison zoning ordinance with respect to the M4 Office Research Industrial District. The committee recommended approval, and first reading was given at the November 6th Village Board meeting. Second reading is requested.
This is second reading of an ordinance amending certain provisions of the Village of Addison zoning ordinance with respect to the M4 Office Research Industrial District.
Motion to approve the ordinance.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the ordinance. Discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Huntley,
Yes.
Kaluzny,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
and O'Brien.
Yes.
The ordinance is approved. 8B is the second reading of an ordinance amending certain provisions of the Village of Addison zoning ordinance with respect to the M1 Limited Manufacturing District.
At their meeting on November 6th, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which amends certain provisions of the Village of Addison zoning ordinance with respect to the M1 Limited Manufacturing District. The committee recommended approval, and first reading was given at the November 6th Village Board meeting. Second reading is requested.
This is second reading of an ordinance amending certain provisions of the Village of Addison zoning ordinance with respect to the M1 Limited Manufacturing District.
Motion to approve the ordinance.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Huntley,
Yes.
Kaluzny,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
The ordinance is approved. 8C is the second reading of an ordinance approving a special use and variation for 2115 West Army Trail Road.
At their meeting on November 6th, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which approves a special use and variation for 2151 West Army Trail Road. The committee recommended approval, and first reading was given at the November 6th Village Board meeting. Second reading is requested.
This is second reading of an ordinance approving a special use and variation for 2151 West Army Trail Road.
Motion to approve the ordinance.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the ordinance. Discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Huntley,
Yes.
Kaluzny,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
and O'Brien.
Yes.
The ordinance is approved. 8D is the first reading of an ordinance levying taxes for corporate purposes for the current fiscal year commencing on the first day of May 2023 and ending on the 30th day of April 2024.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which levies the 2023 property taxes for corporate purposes for the current fiscal year. The committee recommended approval, and first reading is requested.
This is first reading of an ordinance levying taxes for corporate purposes for the current fiscal year commencing on the first day of May 2023 and ending on the 30th day of April 2024.
First reading.
First reading. Item 8E is the first reading of an ordinance abating taxes heretofore levied to pay interest and principal on $8,995,000 general obligation refunding bonds, Series 2015 of the Village of Addison, DuPage County, Illinois, for the year 2023.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which abates the 2023 property tax levies of the 2015 general obligation refunding bond issue. The committee recommended approval, and first reading is requested.
This is first reading of an ordinance abating taxes heretofore levied to pay interest and principal on $8,995,000 general obligation refunding bonds, Series 2015 of the Village of Addison, DuPage County, Illinois, for the year 2023.
First reading.
First reading. Item 8F is the first reading of an ordinance abating taxes heretofore levied to pay interest and principal on $9,525,000 general obligation bonds, Series 2016A of the Village of Addison, DuPage County, for the year 2023.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which abates the 2023 property tax levies of the 2016A general obligation bond issue. The committee recommended approval, and first reading is requested.
This is first reading of an ordinance abating taxes heretofore levied to pay interest and principal on $9,525,000 general obligation bonds, Series 2016A of the Village of Addison, DuPage County, Illinois, for the year 2023.
First reading.
First reading. 8G is the first reading of an ordinance abating taxes heretofore levied to pay interest and principal on $2,130,000 general obligation refunding bond, Series 2016B of the Village of Addison, for the year 2023.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which abates the 2023 property tax levies of the 2016B general obligation refunding bond issue. The committee recommended approval, and first reading is requested.
This is first reading of an ordinance abating taxes heretofore levied to pay interest and principal on $2,130,000 general obligation refunding bonds, Series 2016B of the Village of Addison, DuPage County, Illinois, for the year 2023.
First reading.
First reading. 8H is the first reading of an ordinance abating taxes heretofore levied to pay interest and principal on $5,400,000 general obligation bonds, Series 2017 of the Village of Addison, for the year 2023.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which abates the 2023 property tax levies of the 2017 general obligation bond issue. The committee recommended approval, and first reading is requested.
This is first reading of an ordinance abating taxes heretofore levied to pay interest and principal on $5,400,000 general obligation bonds, Series 2017 of the Village of Addison, DuPage County, Illinois, for the year 2023.
First reading.
First reading. 8I is the first reading of an ordinance adopting the Village of Addison's current paid leave policies and opting out of the Paid Leave for All Workers Act.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this ordinance, which adopts the Village of Addison current paid leave policies and opts out of the Paid Leave for All Workers Act. The committee recommended approval, and first reading is requested.
This is first reading of an ordinance adopting the Village of Addison's current paid leave policies and opting out of the Paid Leave for All Workers Act.
First reading.
First reading. 8J is consideration of a resolution approving an agreement between the Village of Addison and the Metropolitan Alliance of Police, Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center, Chapter 774.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves an agreement between the Village of Addison and the Metropolitan Alliance of Police, Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center, Chapter number 774. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving an agreement between the Village of Addison and the Metropolitan Alliance of Police, Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center, Chapter number 774.
Motion to adopt the resolution.
Second.
Motion and second to adopt the resolution. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Hundley,
Yes.
Klusny,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
and O'Brien.
Yes.
The resolution is approved. Item 8K has been removed from the agenda. Item 8L is a consideration of a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding between the Emergency Telephone System Board of DuPage County and the Village of Addison regarding a computer-aided dispatch interface request.
At our meeting earlier this evening, the committee reviewed this resolution, which approves a memorandum of understanding between the Emergency Telephone System Board of DuPage County and the Village of Addison regarding a computer-aided dispatch interface request. The committee recommended approval, and the attorney is asked to read the resolution.
This is consideration of a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding between the Emergency Telephone System Board of DuPage County and the Village of Addison regarding a computer-aided dispatch interface request.
Motion to approve the resolution?
Second.
Motion is second to approve the resolution. Discussion. Roll call.
Trustees Del Rosario,
Yes.
Hundley,
Yes.
Kluzny,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
and O'Brien.
Yes.
The resolution is approved. Item 9 is the mayor's report. I have 5 requests that I'll take together unless there is an objection to that. The first is approval of an extension of hours for American Tap on Wednesday, November 22nd. The second is approval of a raffle permit for the Oak Brook Trout Unlimited for an event at Venuti's on December 6th. The third is approval of 2 raffle permits for the Addison Trail Music Boosters for events at the high school on December 13th and 17th. The fourth is approval of a raffle permit for the Immaculate Conception Grade School Parent Club for an event at Empress on April 19th. And the fifth is approval of a raffle permit for the Women's Club of Addison for their monthly meetings through May of 2024. Is there a motion to approve?
Make the motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The requests have been approved. That moves us on to item number 10, Officers' Report, Village Attorney.
I have nothing tonight, Mr. Mayor, other than wishing everyone a very happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Village Manager.
Letting our residents know tonight, Mayor, that on Thursday, November 23rd, and Friday, November 24th, we will be closed. However, the village will reopen on November 27th at 8 a.m. And a happy Thanksgiving to our residents.
Thank you. And Village Clerk.
Well, we have a number of things. On this coming Saturday, November 25th, at the VFW Hall, we will have the community blood drive from 8:30 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. Appointments are suggested. You can call 630-628-1959, but walk-ins are always welcome. Also, the Christmas tree lighting is on Friday, December 1st. The event begins at 5 p.m. at the Village Green, and the Historical Museum campus will also be open. It's a great opportunity to really walk and look at our beautiful decorations and visit the museum to know where we came from. Also, the Christmas parades will be on Saturday, December 2nd and December 9th. They step off at 4:30 p.m. from here at the Village Hall, and then you can follow the Santa track and find out what the route will be for each of those by going to the ithappensinAddison.com. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Item 11, Commission and Board Reports. I don't believe we have any this evening. Item 12, we do need an executive session for the purpose of discussing personnel. So before we do that, is there audience input for the evening? If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn to executive session.
Make the motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call, please.
Trustees Del Rosario, Kluzny,
Yes.
Hundley,
Yes.
Nasty,
Yes.
and O'Brien.
Yes.
We are adjourned to executive session.